Okay, so in the beginning, you wouldn't go with Dad out west, and not unless you were married, had that gold band on your finger. And so a couple months went by, and then he came up with the band, and then what?
We got married.
He just suddenly proposed to you and said, "Marry me."
He did that.
Yeah,
Oh, it was so romantic.
yeah.
He knelt down on one knee
Yeah.
on Wisconsin Avenue,
Oh.
which is the main
And that's Wisconsin Avenue in what city?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Nice.
Yep. So it was dark, getting dark out. I was just getting off of work,
Yeah.
and he had picked up the rings.
Yeah.
So
You had to work pretty hard for those rings. Let's see them. These are the rings he got you, right? And this way. And let me have your arm right there. Hold still.
I can't.
I know. I was holding your hand for you. There. The camera saw it. Those are the rings he got you. Yeah. And he slipped those on your fingers.
Yep.
How about that?
And then we made the date to get married on May 31st,
1958. 1958.
Uh-huh.
So on May 31st, 1958, you got married.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
And then you'd go with him on the bike, huh?
Baty.
I never rode the
You
bike.
also have the lactulose, okay? Sometimes you don't want it.
I know, but she's got to have it.
Yeah.
Take everything for now, Mom, so that you can feel better.
Yeah, the lactulose is very important, remember?
Yes.
Okay. Can
It's
I give
sweet.
it to you?
Remember, it's really sweet.
Got it?
Want some
Okay, very good.
want some water to wash that down, Mom? Yeah.
You put your
Okay.
insulin, okay, sweetie?
Oh, can you give her the water first, so she can wash it down?
Sure.
She's like yucky on her mouth. Ready? There you go.
Got it?
I haven't got it yet.
No, there's no water coming up the straw. You gotta bend
Okay.
it over.
Okay, I don't want to drop it in.
Maybe you could tell one of the nurses or orderlies to bring her some more water
Mm-hmm.
when you go out again.
Yes.
So, then what, Mom?
I'm going to put the insulin, okay?
Well, shortly after that, we had a baby.
Yeah. How when you had Miss Terry, how long? 11 months after you were married, you had Terry?
Mm-hmm.
11 months? Because Terry's birthday is when?
It was 1 month, 1 year, 11 days.
After you were married, you had Terry? Ah, that's cute. That's a neat way to remember it.
1 month,
11 days.
11 days.
No hours. Just messing with you. So 1 year and 1 month and 11 days. 1 year, 1 month and 11 days. That's nice. That's nice.
She was born June 11th.
Terry's birthday is June 11th, 1959 or 1960?
She's born in... You're asking me?
Yeah. So Terry's birthday is in 59, right?
Yes.
If you were married in 58 and she was born 1 year later, it would have been in 59. Yeah. So Terry's birthday is in 59.
Yeah.
And Gil's birthday is December 2nd, 1970.
No.
Or 60, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 1960. And then Sandy came right after that. So
Within 1 year.
her birthday was 61.
Yeah, but she's right
Right
next
after,
to
yeah, so you
you.
had 3 kids under the age of 3.
That's something like that.
That's hard work. That's what Jeff did. Your son Jeff, he had 3 children under the age of 3.
Did he?
Yeah, he had Jack, right? Or he had Bridget first, Jack, and then Tyler. They were all under 3. Barely. So you got married. Did you ever? You never rode Dad's motorcycle?
No.
You just wouldn't get on
I
it?
got on it as a back person.
Right, yeah. I didn't mean drive it. I meant went for a ride with him.
Oh, yes. I did that.
Oh, you did that.
Plenty of times.
Plenty of times. Okay. Where'd you guys go?
Wisconsin Avenue.
What's on Wisconsin Avenue that you would go there?
It was dark out. Not dark, but the middle. It was dark. And we were driving down. And I loved it.
So you went cruising.
Cruising. And I liked it because I could hang on real tight.
Hang on to him real tight. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely like a motorcycle myself. Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about motorcycle.
But it's fun to ride them.
I really enjoyed hanging on to him.
Yeah. And you went cruising, so did you guys ever stop for like ice cream or you know, where'd you go? What was the name of the place? Do you remember?
Well, let's see. Well, we went to his parents' place.
Yeah. I bet his parents didn't like you so much, huh?
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
His mother never liked me.
What was his mother's name?
Alice
Alice and Ward
Durward.
Durwood. So it was Ward and Alice Durwood was Dad's parents.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Alice didn't like you. Imagine that. Did she ever tell you why she didn't like you? You ever find out why?
Well, she already had picked out another girl for him.
Oh.
And she liked, it was a little girl, and she had picked her out.
Oh.
And I would take an awful lot. This little girl, her and I used to, we'd come down there together. And it was, and Alice would always prefer her to me. So I'm like, okay. And he would always ask, he would take her out, and he would always be asking her, would Carol like to do this? Would Carol like to do that? Until she got mad.
This other girl.
Yeah. Because Dad was always asking her what I would like, not what she wanted.
So his heart wasn't in it for the other girl.
That's right.
Hmm.
So, I think he didn't like his mother.
Hmm. Possible. Dad never talks about. I never ever had stories about Dad talking about his parents ever. I don't know anything about them. I remember going up there with you guys a few times to visit them, And Ward was always as ice cold as he could be to me and Jeff. Ice cold.
Yep.
And as far as Alice went, I don't think she ever spoke a single word to me. No regard for me or Jeff. But Tony, on the other hand, Ward had his arm around Tony. He loved Tony. He played pool with Tony. He did. And I was told that was my grandpa, and that I should get involved and get over there and see if ask Grandpa for a game, for me to play pool with Grandpa. So I did. I went over and asked Grandpa, "Hey, would you play a game of pool with me?" And he said, "Sure." Right after I finished playing this game with Tony. So he played this game with Tony, and when he finished, and I was so excited to play, game of pool with Grandpa. Grandpa came up with an excuse and couldn't play, and then went off into the kitchen area, and I didn't see him again.
Yeah.
He is a cold-hearted.
Yes.
So I could
Both
see
of
why.
them.
I could see why you didn't like him. So
They were both like that.
cold, huh?
Yes.
So that's why Dad was so. I wouldn't call Dad cold. I'd call him quiet and private.
Yes, he was.
No, I wouldn't call him cold. Just quiet and private. Amazing he married a girl like you, because you're outgoing and fun and want to play. I mean, it's the total opposite of him. I mean, complete crazy, so far off the mark of opposite of him that you can get. And it's just amazing. Maybe he wanted that to spice up his life.
That's what I was going to tell you. I think he did. He wanted somebody who would play.
Play.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe
And
you.
he never objected to my playing. Never.
Yeah.
He used to call me the party girl and
That's
all
right.
that.
Yeah, party girl. Yeah.
Where's the cigarette thing? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
don't
he-
mess with Mom's play.
Yeah.
So that's the reason we all went to Disney World when we were all little. I mean, I was, 8 years old, so...
Yeah,
You-
Dad took us.
Yeah, but it took until Dad was married to you for, 15 years? Before we went on our first the whole family went on a vacation? Did you ever take vacations with the first 3?
No.
Guys never went anywhere.
No.
Nothing. Just went to the assemblies. That was your vacation.
Yes. Until we got older. But I wanted to take all of you, and I wanted Jeff to be old enough to know what was going on.
Yeah. Well, he was 5 years old the first time Jeff went to Disney World, and
Yes.
my daughter Cassie was 4 years old, and Cassie remembers every minute of that Disney World trip. She loved it. She still talks about it.
Yep, and Jeff loved it too.
Yep, I bet he didn't forget anything.
Nope. Well, I wanted to let him know that's the place where Mickey Mouse lives.
Well, you sure did that. So we went there.
And then a lot of times I would go off and play with the older kids,
Yeah.
and he would take you guys off to the swimming pool, and he would watch you as you guys would swim and play and swim and play.
Dad did that?
He did that,
I don't
yeah.
remember that, but okay.
Yeah, he did.
I remember swimming in the pool. I don't remember Dad being there, but I know I had to have a chaperone. I was only 8 years old.
Well, of course.
Of course. So Dad had to be there somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember swimming in the contemporary swimming pool, the outdoor one, and you and the older ones were not there. You were gone. So I had to be there with Dad. I just don't remember Dad being there. But that only makes sense that he was.
yeah.
He was so quiet. It was like he wasn't there. He was just the big watchdog. Anybody would have touched us, they would have died right there.
He just always sat there.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go in.
No, the only time I remember Dad swimming in the water is the time at Glenwood Springs, Gil's wedding to Cindy. Dad got in the hot springs pool, and I remember scooping up the biggest pile of snow I could and dumping it on his head while he sat like this on the edge of the swimming pool down by the deep end, watching the kids dive off the diving board and such. He just, he was in the action, but he was, quiet. So I put a big pile of snow on him, and he went, whoa, and then went under the water, all nice and warm, came up, no more snow. But remember, there was 2 feet of snow on the picnic tables, on the sides.
Yes.
That was a beautiful day in Zumanda. I loved it. That was the coolest time, seeing Dad get in the water with everybody else. That was, woo. Dad having fun. Watch out.
And he was.
Yeah, he enjoyed it. I think he really did. He loved it.
That was the first time I've ever seen him enjoy himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Well, he had to enjoy himself on that motorcycle. I mean, my God, a motorcycle. I loved my motorcycle. To carry everywhere on it.
Yeah. But once we were married, this I gotta tell you.
Oh, okay.
Once we were married, he took his motorcycle apart. He was going to fix it.
Oh, no.
Took it all the pieces, all the little pieces. And then he could not remember how to put it back together.
Oh, see, he needed me for that. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So we had to pay someone to do it?
He never did. He never did.
He ruined a perfectly good motorcycle?
Yes.
And he threw it away?
Well, eventually he did.
He didn't sell it? He threw it away.
Well, that's what he had to do. Well, he sold it, with parts and stuff.
Okay.
But no, he couldn't do it.
He couldn't put it back together.
No.
Wow.
It was shortly after we were married.
Guess that didn't last very long. Ruined a perfectly good motorcycle. Do you remember what kind it was?
Harley Davidson.
Oh, was it Harley? Do you know what model or size motor it was, or any numbers on the side? No? Was it a black one? Was it black and gold, or orange, yellow, and gold?
I don't remember.
Don't remember the color? Just motorcycle. Was it really big or kind of smaller?
It was big.
It was big. Well, back in the day, they only made single piston Harleys, and if it was big in 50s, it might have been a 500. Could have been a 6. I don't know much about motorcycles. I just know they didn't get into those really big motors until the 80s, where you could get a 900cc or 1000cc. Now you can get them with almost a car-size engine in them. They're huge. You can get a 6-cylinder, 6 pistons, Mom. 1800 cc's now is the biggest Honda I think you can buy. They might have come out with a 2000 now, but I don't know. One of the cars Carrie and I bought when we were first married was a Hyundai, and it had a 1.9 liter engine in it. Well, 1800 cc's is a 1.8 liter engine, so you're just shy of a car-size engine in there, pushing a tiny little motorcycle around. Very fast. Motorcycles today are very fast. Well, anyways, that's interesting. So you don't remember any of the soda shops or ice cream parlors you went to? You lived in where? Where were you living when you first married?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Do you remember the address?
Was on the south side.
South side? I can't remember the address of the first place me and Carrie lived at. I know where it is. I could take you right to the apartment, which still stands to this day, but I couldn't tell you the address of it.
I have an aunt
Yeah?
that lived in the south side of Milwaukee, and sometimes once in a while I'd live with her, and then finally I got out on my own.
And then got married.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Anything interesting? While you lived in Milwaukee with the 3 kids?
What do you mean 3 kids?
You know, Terry and Gil and Sandy, because I wasn't born yet. You got pregnant with me while living in Milwaukee, but then you guys moved and had me in Watertown. That's when Dad bought the house, right? No? How'd that work out? How did that happen when you got pregnant with me? Didn't you move?
Yes. Well, he wanted to live someplace he was getting ready to move.
Yeah.
He wanted to move.
You don't want to live in the city anymore. Is there a reason why? I thought it was because you were on your 4th kid.
No.
Oh.
He wanted to get out where there was no crime.
Oh, it was the crime that was bothering him.
Yes.
Okay.
So we decided to move out of the Milwaukee area.
Okay.
So we moved out to
Watertown.
And it turned out to be in Watertown. And we were moving, and we were going, and we were looking at this house and that house, and I said, finally he was saying, well, make up your mind. And so I thought to myself, I don't care what the next house looks like, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
And so I did.
You did? That's how you guys picked the house we lived in?
Yes.
That rundown shack of a house.
Yep. Hey, it wasn't run down.
Yeah, it was a pretty rundown house.
Lots of people thought it was a beautiful house.
Oh, okay. So you just picked the very next house, and it happened to be the one that I grew up in.
Uh-huh.
And that was that. So I know Dad fixed on that house, and then he remodeled that house. And then later in life, you know, I helped with putting the new roof on that place, me and a couple guys. And I remember Dad changing the garage from a smaller garage to the big garage, and then the addition on the garage, and then the workshop on the garage.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the chicken coop that got rebuilt once and then tore down and never saw again. It's like he wasn't going to have chicken no more. Anyway, so that's how you picked the house.
He was always saying, I just don't know how to pick a house. I can't understand it.
That he didn't understand it, or you didn't?
Well, he didn't.
Oh.
Why didn't you can't you see the possibilities? No.
Oh, okay.
And then he get mad at me.
That you could see possibilities and he
I
couldn't?
couldn't.
Oh, I see.
I couldn't.
He was the dreamer. He was like, I could see what we could do with this one.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yes.
So because you couldn't make up your mind, he was frustrated, and so you said, fine, I'm just going to pick the next one. I
Yes.
didn't know that about you guys and about the house.
Oh, he was always after me.
Huh?
Well, come on, you gotta find something. You gotta pick something.
Hmm.
I just thought to myself, I don't care what it is. Even if it's a ragtag thing, I'm gonna say yes to the next house. I was so sick of him yelling at me.
Hmm.
I didn't understand. Please, Mr. Nestor.
Yeah, because I thought Dad told me when you guys moved into that house that the bedroom that me and Jeff were going to occupy was a big honeycomb. He had to tear it all out, the walls and the beehive.
There was, he didn't, that was just an empty room.
Yeah. I thought the walls were filled with like a beehive.
No, there wasn't.
Well, then what was he talking about?
I don't know. He might have been, I don't know if there was bees in there or not. I don't remember. Well, anyway, you're asking me a lot of questions.
Sure. Yeah, because these are interesting, fun facts about you and Dad and all our lives, and you know, I didn't know some of these things. And it'd be nice to know, especially if.
And Gil,
Mm-hmm.
he was such a bad boy. But one time this is what Terry told me. He decided that the guys were they built a little straw house
Okay.
and then they set fire to it
This would be where?
out there in that farmer's field where we used to live.
Yeah. Yeah. Which field though? Like the one above the house, up the hill, the one down the hill.
Down the hill, but over to the side.
Yeah, where the cows are always sitting out. That field. He'd grow corn there, and then the cows would roam the area too. So in that farmer's field, Gil built a straw house and set it afire. All he needed was a cross.
And then I thought to myself, he could have killed you guys
How?
because they were inside the straw house when he set it on fire.
But not me, right?
No, you weren't there.
No.
I never.
He could have killed himself.
And the two girls.
Oh, he had Terry and Sandy with him?
Oh, yes. Those three were always into something.
So he built the straw house, set it on fire with them inside it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's crazy. Well, I never heard that story from any one of the three of them.
Oh, Terry keeps everything secret.
Yeah. So I know that they were three peas in a pod for a while.
For a while.
Yeah. Playing around. How about that?
Oh. She and Sandy had lots of stories like that.
Oh.
She said it was so much fun because Gil could dream up the most interesting games for them to play. And I said, yeah, but to kill you.
Yeah. They're very dangerous games, okay?
I don't know what the other ones were. She never got around to telling me.
Mm.
Oh,
So you had a happy life. You got to go to Disney World many times. What's your favorite part about Disney World?
Well, in the beginning, when we went to Disney,
Yeah.
it was just at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. That's right. Because Epcot didn't come along until 82. So from 70, when Disney opened, 71, it was alone for 10 years, or 11 years before Epcot came. And in that 11 years, that's when we visited Disney World 3 times. Back to back year, 3 times back to back, each year in December. And then why didn't we go again? After the third time, did Dad say, "Okay, I've seen it, I've done it, I'm not going back"? He stopped vacationing. We never went on another vacation again.
Did he ever? He used to talk about you and Jeff when he took you fishing one time.
Yeah.
Way over on the someplace.
Lake Mills. He took me in his boat to Lake Mills once. The canoe. Remember the red canoe?
Uh-huh.
And I've been to Tivoli Island. Dad went there with me once. He took me there. We put the canoe in there. That's the only 2 times I ever remember being in the canoe with Dad.
Didn't you ever go on a boat?
Well, then as an adult, I went on his bass boat once. Married. Cassie was around. And I went on his bass boat once. But he didn't buy that bass boat till after 88. Because he bought the boat after he sold Pioneer Roofing, and he sold it in 88.
Is this on?
Yeah.
It seems like he loved little Cassie when she was little.
I know. Everybody knows my daughter was his favorite for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I know, he bought her things, anagrammed. He did nice things for Cassie.
Yeah, he did.
Cassie's a sweet little girl. Innocent, sweet little girl that was highly intelligent and was very inquisitive. And she loved her grandpa. Because her grandma and grandpa on the other side were mean and cold and always doing bad things to me and her mother. So Cassie didn't like her.
Oh.
And she wanted to be your best little girl. That didn't work out. But Grandpa was always nice to Cassie, so Cassie fell in love with Grandpa.
I wasn't nice to her? Oh my God. I used to take her places. I would go all the way up. I would go all the way to where you used to live in Oconomowoc just to pick her up. You don't remember that?
No. No. You doted on Holly and Heather a lot. And Cassie was the sidekick that, as long as you're with Holly and Heather, okay, I'll pick Cassie up.
Yeah, but Holly and Heather weren't with me.
We're your pride and joys. Holly and Heather.
I didn't have Holly and Heather that much. But I did have, I would go all the way to, oh, I really loved that little girl. And I'd take her to the circus. Do you remember me picking her up just to take her to the circus?
No, I don't remember ever.
That's where she got that idea. Because pink makes me happy.
I don't remember you ever taking Cassie by herself anywhere, just the two of you.
Oh, yeah.
Not
We
once.
went. And then she'd come to the door when I'd knock on the door. And I'd come into the door and she says, "Oh, it's the other one."
The other one? When you came?
Oh,
The other one what?
the other grandma wasn't the one she was expecting.
Yeah, well, she didn't like Donna.
Yeah, and so when I came here, she said, "Oh, it's the other one." I still remember her saying that.
Donna tried, but as long as Donna and Philip were bad to me and Carrie, you were never going to get Cassie on your side because Cassie loves her mom and dad. Cassie loves her daddy. You don't mess with me. If you do, Cassie will hate you.
But I loved you.
Yeah, I know. You had no worries from that. But, yeah, Cassie loves her daddy.
Well,
And she loves me even more every day that goes by now.
I suppose.
She really appreciates. I got the call. I was in the truck driving. I got a call from her a couple days ago, and she goes, "You know, Dad, I never really appreciate what you do for me." I go, "I know. All dads know that. Their little girls grow up. Daddy's great. Daddy's this. Daddy's that. But then you move out and live on your own, and then you find out Daddy wasn't just great. Daddy was awesome." And you just learned, didn't you? And she goes, "Uh-huh." I go, "Yep, Dad's awesome. You're welcome." She wanted to call and tell me thank you. Thought that was cute. All dads know this. Or at least they will learn after they have their kids for a long time. They will find out one day when their kids leave the nest how awesome. I told that to Dad after I had left the nest, was married to Carrie. I told him many times how awesome I thought he was. Dad was awesome. And truly, people use that word inappropriately today because things aren't just awesome. I mean, to be truly awesome, it has to be unique, rare, one of a kind to be truly awesome. And Dad definitely performed his job as Dad awesomely. Just didn't appreciate it at the time. Getting spankings and popped upside the head. Told to do I have your attention now? Yes, sir, you do. Yes, sir. So, at the time, you don't know.
But he was not
Wasn't
ever
mean.
nice.
I never said he wasn't mean.
He was never nice to Gil.
Well, why not? I mean, it's
He
your
was-
firstborn son.
Yes, and he was so happy to have him.
Yeah. So what happened? Why didn't he dote
His-
on that boy and fix him up good?
Because that boy just went bad. He started taking drugs.
But not until he got older. What
Yeah,
happened
he
between
was just
1
a-
and 10?
He was just a teenager.
Yeah, but between ages 1 and 10, he would have been in Dad's tutelage, training. He'd have
Oh.
been hanging around Dad. He'd have learned all kinds of things about how to be a man. By the time you're 10, you're a young man already, you know? And then by the time you're 13, you go through puberty. You know all the birds and the bees and the rules and how to be. You've had your father as an example. So how did Gil go so wrong?
I don't know. And Dad didn't know either. But Gil did. He was into drugs.
It did bad influences at school. It certainly wasn't from the Keenum Hall, unless the Schlickers were bad.
No.
Them Schlicker boys were okay?
Yes.
Because that was like Gil's best buddy, Jay Schlicker, right? Remember Jay?
Yes.
Them two, and then Clark Neitzel and the Sedum boy.
Even Roy Sedum said to Gil, either you change your ways, or he said, I'm not studying with you anymore.
Gil didn't change his ways, did he?
No, he didn't. And so Roy left.
Clark did it. Clark stayed with him, right?
Clark
what?
always stayed with him.
Yeah, so what? Clark had a bad streak in him too?
Yes, he does. Unfortunately.
So that's why the two birds of a feather flock together.
He wasn't like that.
He might not have been as bad as Gil, but he had the streak, you said, so
Yeah.
there it is. Yep.
Well, he was different in the sense that he was always loyal to Gil because of what Gil could do for him. And he was always panhandling to Gil. I don't know what
Like a
it
little
all
servant. Yeah.
take.
Okay. Well. Yeah, I'm surprised Gil went the way of the world.
Well, he did.
It is the way it is, you know.
But
I would have thought with the firstborn son, like if I had my firstborn son, that boy'd love me. My boys love me.
bam, if you don't.
If they don't, I'm gonna beat it into them. No, I just can't imagine. As a man, you know, you want a boy, and your firstborn boy is going to be your number one. He's going to be like you, you know.
You think?
That's what you hope for, anyway, you know.
Uh-huh.
No outside influences, no other sons born, so the kid has nobody to look to but you. So he should be your mimic, your twin.
Yeah, but he
Gil
wasn't.
was not Dad's twin.
No,
No.
he was not ever.
And Terry was like the sweet one, right? The sweet little girl.
Yeah.
Mama's little girl, right? Daddy's little girl.
Terry was Mama's little girl.
Terry
Sandy
was,
was not.
Sandy was neither of your girls. She was just there.
That's true.
She was not a mama's girl, and she was not a daddy's girl. She was
That's
her
true.
own girl. I was
That's
a mama's boy, and Jeff I think is a mama's boy too.
Oh yes, he was.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Sandy was just not.
She just was her
She-
own.
she
She
went-
beat it to a drum of a different
She walked to the tune of a different
Different
drummer.
drum. Yeah. Well, that can be good too. I mean, she's self-sufficient, stands on her own. She does well.
Oh yeah. She married well.
Yeah. The second time around.
Yes. Yeah, she lives in a mansion.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. She has everything she could possibly want.
I am very happy about that.
So am I.
Because you don't ever have to worry about her. She's fine.
Exactly.
And Jeff, he lives in a nice home, brand new,
Yes, he does.
nice wife, good kids. You know, he's got his own woes, but you know, all good.
I don't know about all good.
Well, I mean, it's not like Jeff's not having a happy life. You know, Jeff's happy. You can't help how your kids turn out. You couldn't help how Sandy went. You couldn't help how Gil went. You couldn't help how things went. They go the way they go. You know, the world is a big place and has lots of temptations in it.
But
And nobody's immune.
Sandy was immune to all of that. She never did anything that was bad.
Smoking.
That was the only thing. And she married a guy who doesn't smoke.
Oh, Clay didn't smoke?
Luckily, it is.
The first guy. The first fella. What is his name, Clay?
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't smoke?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
What is that? Sam. He's married to Sam.
Yeah, the second one is Sam. He don't smoke.
He doesn't smoke.
I don't even remember. Does Sandy still smoke?
She does
Yeah?
occasionally.
Oh, like when she's stressed?
She would take one. Yeah.
Okay.
But her husband does not smoke, and she is not allowed to smoke in the house.
Yeah, well, it's a nice house. I've seen the pictures from the outside. Looks nice.
Oh, it's such a big place. Oh my God.
Did you ever get to visit Sandy's house?
Once.
Once you did get to see it. Nice.
Yes, I saw it.
I don't think. Did you ever come to Colorado? Other than the only time I remember you coming to Colorado is for me to take you to Lake Powell. That's the only time you ever came to my house. I don't remember you coming to Colorado other than to go.
Hi, Cherie.
Oh my